In this video, I will show you my Cubase project that I am using if I want to make some new songs, some new music, if I'm composing, or if I want to record just my live performing in multi-channel MIDI recording. I'm always starting with this project, and I will show you how it looks, what do I have here, and then I will explain you how it works. So, first, in this project, I have MIDI tracks, then I have virtual tracks, VST tracks, then I have audio tracks, then I have vocal tracks, and I have back vocal tracks. So 16 plus 16, 32 plus 16 plus 16. So 64 track I'm using here in this project, and I will explain you how it looks and why I need all those tracks. Now, we will start with MIDI tracks. That is actually the main point of this video. Ketron is connected. I'm using Ketron as a main instrument, and I'm using styles. I'm playing styles. I am playing solo with right hand, composing, making music, and I want to make sure that I will record everything well synchronized in separate MIDI channels. So first, if you want to do a good recording that is that has good synchronization, then you have to work with MIDI, because Ketron Event has problem with audio files with live instruments. You cannot synchronize them yet, but in this case you will always work with MIDI style, where a MIDI style is any style where you have just MIDI information. So let me go to ballad and point to one of those styles on page, for example, okay, not user, on page 8, we have there one style, it's called ballad 5, it is MIDI style. Whatever is MIDI style, it says MIDI. If it's live, it means it has some live instruments, live guitars, or if that says, for example, real, it means it has real instruments. In Ketron Event, we have real instruments like real chords, so real drums, those things. But live instruments are live guitars. So we will always make sure that we are working with MIDI if we want to do multi-track MIDI recording and on separate channels. Now, what do I have here? Everything that is yellow, those are actually active tracks that are part of the style. So we have bass, it is MIDI channel 5. Then you can see chord 1. I will go here and show you how it looks. If I go to view, now if I go to chord, you can see that I have chord 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those chords are MIDI channel 6, 7, 8, 11, and 12. Those are MIDI channels for chords. You must have identical channels on Ketron Event for transmitting and receiving messages, and you must have them on Cubase. So those channels are actually default channels by Ketron. So that's why I have those channels in my Cubase setup. Now, channel number 9 is groove, channel number 10. If we go to channel number 10, we have drums. So that is what do we have here. Those are main tracks of one MIDI style. All those gray channels are actually channels that I'm not using when I am playing in live some styles. But I have them in future if I want to switch to general MIDI standard, or if I want to use on those channels some other instruments from Integra or another instrument, then I can use those channels 13, 14, 15. They are free channels, and channel 3, 4. So now I'm using only channel number 2 for solo section, because when I play, I am connected through my keyboard. I'm connected here. I will show you just very quickly that if I go to MIDI setup, if I go to edit, if I go to receiving, on global MIDI channel number 1, I am receiving global messages. But on MIDI channel number 2, I am receiving voice actually upper voice one that is part of the voice. In voice we have, we have several parts. I will go to one voice, just explain you that. I will go to one voice, open one voice. As you can see, in one voice, I have combination of voice 1, 2, and 3. I may have that combination of 3 sounds, but I am always using I'm always recording just information on solo MIDI channel number 2. That is enough for me to get idea which kind of solo I want to have. And then later I can just do another recording on MIDI channel number 2, 3, and 4, actually 3 and 4. If I record everything on MIDI channel, for example, 3 and 4, I cannot do so because I'm using this keyboard that can send only when I play information on MIDI channel number 1. Because that is global communication. I'm using Event X module and I need MIDI channel number 1 for global communication. And when I play solo section, everything goes through that global communication MIDI channel 1. So that's why I am using just channel number 2 where I can record my information related to my solo section. But all other information I'm recording on channel number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those channels are part of the style. So if you want to record separate channels, you have to activate filtering. In Cubase number 13, you have just to activate this project. I did activate track because previously that project was created in Cubase 12 and actually even in Cubase 10, maybe even before. That's why I had to do filtering through track. But now you can just do project filtering. You can change everything to project filtering instead of track. What it means, project filtering, you have that in Cubase 13. You don't have in previous version. In previous version, you have to choose track filtering. I will show you what is that project filtering. Now, project filtering is whatever you have here in your project, whatever is input routing and whatever is output routing in your project, it is going to be filtered by those channels. So I want to make sure that now in bass, I'm using, for example, for bass, I'm using MIDI support A. MIDI support A, everything is MIDI support A. So input is MIDI Sport A. That is name of my interface. My interface is MIDI Sport. And that interface has 2 inputs, input 1 and input 2. And I'm using MIDI channels. But if you want to use, instead of that, if you want to use your USB connection, then you can use just the USB connection of your Ketron. So let me just see, is my Ketron connected? I will show you how it works now for a moment. I'll exit from here. I will go to MIDI. I will go to, I will go to port connect and I will engage now MIDI connection. And now I will exit from here. Now I will show you what we can do now. Here for MIDI input. Now, okay, now it is reading inputs. Oh, just a moment. I have to change my studio setup. I have to change it to Apogee driver. My computer was yesterday not connected with this card, so I want to change that. First this, I have to choose proper card. So here in studio setup, you will choose proper card, and then I will go to MIDI Studio, then I will go to more options, MIDI Device Manager. In MIDI Device Manager, now I can direct, it is scanning ports, and now I can go and say that I can actually choose now MIDI function. So MIDI function is actually my Ketron event. So now I will just show you one thing related to this. I'm using a template script that is connecting information from Cubase to information from a Ketron event. So I have name of instruments, I have list of styles, I have everything I'm controlling from Cubase. If you want to control so, you must have your script, and that is Ketron event script here. You can import that script if you get it from somebody, just to press import and put that script on your computer, find it, and then it is name of the script. Those all scripts are my made scripts. I made them for myself. Now let me find Ketron event script. Yeah, it is there. Ketron event script. When you find it, just open it and script will come here. You will be able to see it, highlight it, and put output. If you are using MIDI interface, then put output for MIDI interface. Look at it, will change everything here. So every MIDI channel here, I will explain you, every MIDI channel here is going to event. Look, see output routing is event template. Look at, if I click to template, you can see it is event template. It says MIDI sport. But look at, if I change it here, I will show it more option. If I go to MIDI device manager and change everything to MIDI function, there is my Ketron USB connection now, not MIDI cable, USB connection. Look at now, if I go exit here, if I go to any of those tracks now, Ketron event, it says MIDI function. So that is excellent thing if you are dealing with MIDI template. In this case, whatever you change here in more option in MIDI device manager in your script, it will affect your project. Automatically everything will go properly on the place where it should go. MIDI function, that is on MIDI function. So every output goes to my template and it says MIDI function. But now input you have to choose. For solo section, usually I am connected with this controller. So for solo section, I will choose SLMK2. So I am playing SLMK2, whatever is coming from SLMK2 on this particular MIDI channel. So whatever is coming there from MK2, it will be recorded on channel number 2. But the rest of my tracks, they have to be Ketron. So if they have to be actually or Ketron MIDI function or MIDI support. In my case, my instrument is connected through MIDI function and through MIDI support. So it doesn't matter what I will choose. But if you have only USB connection, then you have to choose MIDI function. MIDI function. Sorry. I need some water. Import transformer has to be MIDI function. Do you know why I'm doing one by one? I cannot do all of them. I was able to do that in Cubase 10, 11, and 12, but I have bug in Cubase 13. Whenever I choose to change everything, it will give me same MIDI channel. Then I have to change channels. So that's why I have to go like this, track by track. Okay, MIDI function, MIDI function. Okay, now I have MIDI function input transformer for every channel. So I must make sure that I have proper channels. I have proper channels. No, this must be 12. This must be 11. This is 10, 9. I am doing channel by channel because, as I mentioned, something is wrong with Cubase. My version of Cubase 13 doesn't work properly. 5. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, you can see that I have proper MIDI channels, input and output. Input is MIDI function, output is Ketron template. MIDI function, Ketron template, MIDI function, Ketron template, MIDI function, Ketron template, MIDI function, Ketron template. So everything is like it should be. Okay, I will just exit from here. So now it doesn't show, it doesn't change styles. Look at now, it doesn't change styles. So I can choose any style that I want to work on it. Sometimes Ketron has some tricky behavior here, but okay, ballad. Okay, that is style that I want to keep. Now I will move this and you will see that nothing is moving. Now, as you can see, I'm keeping same style. I'm just going through tracks, and in tracks you can see input transformer is MIDI function. Ketron is connected with USB. Output transformer is Ketron event. It is my script, Cubase script for Ketron event. Channel 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. There's wrong channel. 7, 6, 5, and here actually nothing is connected, so it doesn't matter. Everything that is gray is nothing, and there is any channel because I am actually just getting message from SLMK2 on this part, on this section, but I can put it on MIDI channel number 1. In this case, why is here 1? Why is here 2? I will explain you. Because 1, it is my communication channel, global channel. So it will record information from my right section on SLMK2 to MIDI channel number 1. But I will control actually everything that is going to Ketron through MIDI channel 2. And on Ketron it looks like this. I will explain you that, just to make sure that you know what is happening here. Edit. Now, receiving global channel is MIDI channel number 1. On this my keyboard, everything is separated. In my situation, I have quite Ketron Event X. It is more tricky to set up Ketron Event X than Ketron keyboard, because I have to control instrument and I have to make sure that everything is working in Cubase. But on this way, it is working for Ketron Event X and with proper MIDI controller that is like a split. I have split on note C3. Everything on right side goes to solo section, on left side goes to rhythm section, and everything worked perfectly well. So now look at that, voice sending message through MIDI channel 2 and recording to MIDI channel 2. But I am receiving information for that MIDI channel through global channel number 1 to that split that is coming from this SLMK2. That is how it works. Now, rest of the channels are, as you can see, drums 10, groove 9, and then bass 5, chord 6, chord 2, 7, chord 3, 8, chord 4, 11, chord 5, 12. Same like I have here. So that is my project that works very well without any problem. And one more thing, you have to engage synchronization. You have to go to transport, project synchronization setup, destination, and you will choose Ketron event MIDI function. That is what I chose. It is actually, I'm going through my template. If I don't want to go to template, I can just disengage this and I can go through MIDI function. But I like to go through template because sometimes MIDI function is not connected. Sometimes I'm just deciding, do I have USB connection or regular connection through template? And I already showed you where I can switch from those both connection if you go to studio and more options and MIDI device. Like that is my synchronization. I have synchronization with Genus too, but there is another story about Genus. Now that is synchronization, and here I have to exit, I have to go to utility, and I have to engage MIDI clock in if I want to have synchronization. When I'm making new music, I have to engage it. If I don't want to have it, then I don't need to use it. When I finish my idea, I must have that synchronization, that clock activated MIDI clock in. But then when I finish with my idea, then after that I will deactivate that, and then I will listen to my project and I will continue recording channel by channel. Okay, that is my step that is making sure to have connection with my instrument. Now, what is my next step when I record everything? Now I can record audio track just here, everything. If I go and make sure that my studio connection input in stereo in one, okay, in stereo I have several inputs. If you have just one, then you have to make sure that you make proper connection here. Now I have stereo input number 2, and in this input I will engage optical 3 and 4, because in optical 3 and 4 connection there is connected my Ketron event. My Ketron event is connected is in MRA16 Steinberg interface, but this interface is presently acting as ADAT. So that's why I have here option. I have several stereo input, stereo 1, 2, 3. I can add stereo 4 because I have 8 inputs additionally for ADAT connection, and plus my card has 2 inputs. So that is what do I have here. And now stereo input, my actual instrument event is connected to ADAT 3 and 4. That's why I have to make sure that I have 3, 4 here. And then if I want to record whole my MIDI performing in audio format, I will just here write down, for example, event X. So that is my recording, and I have to choose stereo input 2, because here in stereo input 2 in audio connection there is optical 3 and 4, and in those channels is connected with audio cable my event X. That is how it works. You have to make sure everything is correct. Whenever where is connected event, there you have to choose that input for that audio channel. So if you have just 2 inputs in card, then you don't need so many of them. You will just go say stereo input 1, and you will add how many inputs you need, add bus, and if it's the stereo input 1, then you have to make sure that you have proper connection on that input 1. So depends on which card do you have, but you have to make sure that you know what are you doing here. Depends of which audio card you are using, how many inputs do you have any ADAT connection, or you don't have any other connection. Anyway, that is how we will record audio of those MIDI channels. But I can record everything on those stereo channels, and I have here separately mono channels as well. I have vocal channels, I have back vocal channels, and I have those channels that I can use for back vocal, or I can use them for mono instruments, or I can use any of this stereo channel. I can use it actually. I can create mono channels, not only stereo channels. Instead, I just have 12 audio stereo channels because I have a lot of stereo equipments. I have Integra stereo, I have Motif stereo, I have Yamaha stereo, I have a couple another keyboards that are stereo, Roland, stereo, Ketron, stereo. So that's why I have stereo inputs here. I'm using a lot of stereo inputs, but if you are using mono inputs, then just create your mono inputs. Now, I have here my VST instruments. I put here contact, but they are not actually contact. They are just VST instruments. You can choose whatever you want here. Now, I have just to change name of all of those instruments, and then you go to one of those VST instruments and you can choose one of your VST instruments. If I click here, for example, I can go and I can say that I want to have, just a moment, output, yeah, no VST instrument. I can click to other and I can say that I want to have SSD sampler. Now I'm waiting for SSD sampler. Now if I have SSD, actually not sampler, drummer, SSD 5 drums. If I choose SSD 5 drums, then I can just change name here and say drums. And now whatever I did record in MIDI channel number 10, I can just take it, copy and put it here in virtual instrument. What I'm doing mostly, whenever I finish my recording here, then I like to choose those instruments, for example, bass guitar. Look at that. Bass guitar is, for example, from Ketron. And then I will choose that material later and to put it here on this channel. And in this channel, I will choose my contact. For example, contact 6 or contact 7. And now I will choose my bass guitar that I did sample from any keyboard. For example, bass. Now I can show you that I have here bass from Genus. Now, and I have some bass guitars from Ketron as well. So I can choose then other instrument that I sampled, or I can choose any of those instruments that I have here. Any bass guitar. So I like to do, I like to use that material from Ketron. And I just like to put it there in track and call it bass and insert bass guitar here. I can choose my own sampled bass guitar, or I can choose one of virtual instruments. I can choose mono bass. I'll show you that. Let me see, where do I have mono bass here? I have here. I can choose mono bass. Or I can choose whatever I want. Just later when I finish my idea with Ketron or with Genus or with anything, I will use those MIDI tracks and I will put them here. I will put them here in virtual instrument tracks. So that is how I like to work. And I think so that is going to be enough for this video as well. It's already a long video. Just I wanted to give you idea how do I work with Ketron Event. You saw setup and then you can continue to work whatever you want to work. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in my next video.